like the people don't want to come to a mortgage class, right? So I wanted to share with you guys what conversations I'm having out there to take listings in this market. Remember, and how you can do that too, okay? Yeah, how many of you have never sold a house yet? The two of you? Not yet. Aurora? Yeah, okay. You haven't national one yet? Not yet, right? Well, guess what? I'm gonna teach you how to get your first one. Is that cool? Are you guys excited? It's always like once you get the first one, I think it's the hardest thing is getting through the first one. Come on, right? And once you get through the first one, then you're like, it all makes sense, right? Because when you're, I believe that before you're not challenging, but the challenging part before your first deal is that you're scared of saying the wrong thing. Yes? You're scared of messing it up for somebody else. Yes? So you're like, so the thing is that it's a catch-22. You're not going to, it's like, I'll give you an example. It's like having white legs, having tan, right? I don't show my legs because I'm not tan, and then I'm not tan because I don't show my legs. Does that make sense? Like, it's the same thing, right? You do one thing without the other. How are you, Shanda? Thank you for driving over here for us. Awesome. So today I want to tell you guys more just basics. Okay, so one of the things that I want you all to stop doing is to stop sending any potential leads to lenders right away. How many of you do that? Okay, you know what we do? Oh, let's talk to the lender. That's a lender questions. Go to my lender. How many of those leads have gone nowhere? It's happened to all of us. It's happened to me. So today I want you to, let me just kind of give you a glimpse of what's happening in the real estate industry, okay? I want you to know that this is the third quarter of the year. 60% of the transactions in this industry are going to happen this quarter. 60% are happening this quarter. Then October through February, we expect a slowdown just because of what the rates are in the market. And then after that, those are the people that survived until then. It's going to get really good because the rates go down, homes will go up, there'll be more activity. Does that make sense? No inventory. Zero inventory. So you have a listing, I have 22 offers in 2 days, and it's like that kind of market again. So it's tough. So where you want to be in this market is taking listings. So how you can take listings up, those of you that have never done a listing, you know that you're not alone. Like if you do not know the questions, you just get the fish on the hook, we'll help you fry it. Okay? And then we'll teach you how to fry it. But first, let's get you the fish on the hook, and we're there to help you with every conversation you need to have and everything you need to know. Got it? Yeah? Okay, cool. So what I want to teach you is today the conversation that we're going to be having is how to tell people that want to, so number one that we're going to do is you're not going to send the lending questions to a lender. Why is that? Why? Why do I say don't send it to a lender? Because you're like, well, what am I going to do, Sophia? I don't know the answers. Right? What I want you to know is you're because the lenders, they get 100 leads a day. They're only going to work with the people that give them all the financials first already. They're going to work with the people that already have the package ready and the conversation done. Lenders, they follow up with your lead once or twice. They don't call back. They forget about it. They do not have the capacity or the bandwidth to nurture your lead like you will. To get that lead and I believe the lifting. That's my opinion. Okay, with East West Bank, we do the heavy lifting. But to me, that's nothing new because I've always done the heavy lifting. Because heavy lifting, what that means that you both have another job? 12. 3? Yeah, this guy.
IHSS.
Oh, the IHSS in-house support. Anybody else? Everyone else is a full-time career realtor, yeah? So then we have no choice. No choice. So don't send your deals to a letter. These are the conversations I've been having, okay? So right now, if you're out there talking to people are going to tell you, Sophia, I don't want to go from a 3.25 interest rate. The rates are too high. I'm not going to go to I want to let you guys know that I personally wrote an offer and got an escrow on a house for myself this weekend that I'm going to intend to live in. And I have an 813 FICO score. Okay? And I'm putting 20% down. And the rate I got is 7.25. My mortgage is 5,000 a month. In Lake Elsinore, okay? That's not, I'm not moving to Temecula, okay? That's in the hood.
It's the Rosettas, it's not.
but you know what I mean? It's not like, it's not Temecula. I want you to understand, I want you to understand something. One of the things I want you to start thinking differently that agents don't do is that when you go to an open house, I want you to, so today I want you to know that there's an app. You guys calculate payments on there for your clients?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you don't? You guys know how to do that?
People on camera.
No? So what it is you guys should download it. It's lawyers, lawyer's agent, and then you pay $9.99 for the whole year, $10. And you get all the social media stuff to post. It's so nice. But when you go here, I want you all to download this, because what you guys do when you guys take a listing, you guys, wait, I need a HUD one from escrow. Yeah, that's nice. This is even nicer than a HUD one from escrow. It's very accurate too, because it has the actual fees from escrow, from title and escrow, okay? So it's very, very close. So when you download this app, on the bottom, it has a buyer and a seller button, a calculator, and then it has a premium one where you can do social media. But here, it literally, you plug in the numbers, because what happens is when you're showing homes, you go, how much is the payment on this one? And you know what you say as an agent? I don't know, let me ask the lender. So what happens to the trust with you? Goes down. So I want you to be confident and say, look, I'm not a licensed officer, but I have an amazing tool that's only given to licensed realtors. That's why you know, this is not something they're going on Zillow online. You say this is a tool, because this has the actual title fees. Zillow doesn't. Does that make sense? Say, this is only for licensed agents. I have a tool, and I will calculate how much money your payment is and the rate. You already know what the tax rate is. So before you show homes, before you do an open house, there's several things you need to know about the home you're posting open, right? What is it? Ask it, look up. Don't just go put signs in the yard. Do your homework. Prepare. What are the local schools? What is the tax rate at? Is there an HOA? Do they allow pets? What are the questions that they're going to ask you? Be prepared. If those of you that said that you do not have escrows, like right now, I want you to have the mindset of the next 12 weeks, you're working every weekend doing open houses. Like, you have no business not working weekends, because it makes so much sense. The average commission check right now is about $10,000 to you, because you think about it like 800,000. Those are 700,000. 2.5% commission, like the really good. After your splits, you get 10 grand. Is it worth it? Save money for retirement, do all the things you're supposed to do. Got it? Just say, hey, you know what? I will definitely consult your lender. However, let me tell you right now what this is, because that's why the client don't write offers when you're showing them homes right away. Because they're like, well, I'll talk to the lender, but then they get cold feet. That way you know. Got it? So I want you all to please download the Lawyer's Title app. It's called Lawyer's Agent 1, okay? And then I'm going to teach you how to have a conversation. So, look, the rates are high. Good. Eventually they'll go down. Does that make sense? Because people are getting out the market eventually. The reason the rates are staying high is because there's still enough people buying homes at this rate. So the lenders, they're still producing. Does that make sense? When that halts, then they lower the rates. So there's still activity right now. Does that make sense? Okay, so what you realize is that Lawyer's Agent 1, everybody got it? Okay. So how do you tell somebody, I don't want to sell because I'm going from a 3.25 to a 7.25? So you understand this is a $3,000 payment to a $5,000 payment. How do you, we're gonna mastermind some of the new agents. I only want those of you that have not sold a home to answer. I don't wanna sell my house. I don't wanna go from a $3,000 payment to a $5,000 payment. I don't wanna go from a 3% to a 7%. What are you gonna tell me?
They can refinance once the rates go back down.
They could refinance the rates go down. That's a good answer.
Try to buy down points.
Try to buy down points. Okay, that's a good option. You don't know? Okay.
I was gonna say the points too.
Buy points? No idea? Okay. So, let's try that.
Yeah, you can tell them to wait until the interest rates go back down and refinance, or I don't, I think those are all great answers.
Okay. Randy?
I would say the same thing, you could always refinance, you know, you gotta, marry the home, take the rate, and then it was come down, you could always refinance.
Okay. Victor?
I would probably say the same thing he said. And that's what he said.
Marry the house, take the rate.
Take the rate.
Jamie, what are you telling people out there?
So, well, I will put an example that I did today. I called a seller and I told them, okay, so the interest rate is really high. So then what if, you know, I offered them the US Bank, the East West, you know, well, this bank, this lender that we're using right now. I told them about that program, and I also told them, okay, well, you're looking for a house that you want a bigger yard. But what you're gonna take away, you're gonna take your equity that you have right now, you're gonna be paying less because you're gonna have a better interest rate for what it is right now, but you're gonna have what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I focus on what they want.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good, Jamie. That's exactly where I'm going. Very good. Okay, anybody else? Anybody? Brittany, what would you tell people?
You can see if their loan is assumable, the seller's loan is assumable.
Yeah, that's a good option. Now we'll talk about that, okay? Assumable is good. They saw the difference, and I'll tell you guys about that. Okay, what that means for the new agents. Anybody else? Derek?
I still go with the East West Bank. That's what I would say.
Go with East West Bank. Sounds good. Yeah, we have a bank that has a 5.75. Great. What I want to teach you guys today is I want you to just change your mindset how you see yourself. And see yourself like a consultant. Remember what I told you, if somebody wants to sell their house, when I sit with them, I do not tell them, oh, sell your house, sell your house. Like, I sit down with them and I'll say, let's go over all your options today, Mr. Derek. Today we're going to talk about, we're not going to sell your home. Doing nothing. Remember? We're going to do nothing. Or we're going to talk about what it would look like to rent your current home out and purchase another home. If they have the money. If you don't have the money, we're going to talk about cashing out or line of credit to buy another one. To buy another one, okay? To purchase. Or we're going to talk about maybe just refinancing and paying off your debt and staying here. Well, why would I do that? The rate's 7%. Well, guess what? All your credit cards are 30%. So this refinancing and doing nothing may still be not. You're consolidating everything. Or 5, we're going to sell. We're going to talk about all your options today and look at every scenario. Just understand that a true consultant, when I go with them, I already know what the rents are in that area. I look them up. I'm prepared. This is how much you could rent it for, and then this is based on the income. When you told me, I'm going to teach you how this is how much you could purchase for. So you do have to have some basic math skills. And you don't need math skills. I had to get a tutor to get my degree because math is not what I love. But I have apps, and so do you. Then we could cash out, refinance, get a line of credit to purchase something else, right? Or we could refinance, just consolidate your stuff, and you can stay where you're at, right? Or we sell your house. If I go in there and have all these conversations with my people, interview an agent that just talks about selling, who are they going to prefer? The consultant. So the thing I do is, I was just having lunch with some friends, and they're top producers. They have net worth and, like rental. They're about this presentation, and they're like, damn, like, information, would you just ask? I just go there and I go, okay. So one of the conversations you want to have right now with people is this. People do not want to go from a $3,000 payment to a $5,000 mortgage. But if you sit down with them and you go, okay, how much is your car payment? $750. Your wife's car payment, $550. How much are your credit cards? Yeah, $500. Your personal loan. You're making payment arrangements to the IRS $300 a month, which is still increasing the balance every month. When you go over and you get all their bills and you tell them, okay, so your monthly expenses are $7,000 a month, yes? So how about we sell your house, you pay off your debt, and we go from $7,000, and now you're in a better neighborhood district and a more beautiful home. See this conversation right here? This is what's getting me listings right now. Does it make sense? So you have to learn how to be a consultant and ask them all these questions. And say, you know, throw in a little, hey, you have a little extra $10K to go on your dream vacation because you know what, life is short, you're not taking this with you. Your mom's getting hurt. What if she, you know, one of my friends said something to me. She said, Sophia, I am so jealous of your trip with your mom to Europe. And I said, okay, she's not a jealous person. So I was like, she goes, I'm not jealous that you went to Europe, and I'm not jealous that you took your mom. She goes, I'm jealous because 10 years ago, my mom was healthy. Relationship, business, focus on my health. And now, 10 years later, when I want to take her, she can't walk. So she's like, I'm so mad that when I could have. So I want you to know, like, these are the type of conversations. Change your life. And I promise you, we're not going to move or sell your home. And I will not sell your home unless we talk to a lender and I make 100% sure that you qualify. I promise you. And you're going to go from $6,000 a month expenses to $5,000, and now guess what? You're going to be debt free. Debt free, you just worry about your mortgage. What would happen? And then I show them another example. Then I say, I'm comfortable paying $7,000. Okay, cool. So what happens? Add an additional $2,000 a month to your mortgage. Now you're bringing your mortgage down to 17 years. You're 30 right now. So by the time you're 47, your house is paid off. Does that make sense? Like, these are the types of conversations that I wanted to tell you guys. And with Mortgage Basics is, don't just give your leads to a lender anymore. Stop. I do never ever do. I've never done that. And lender for 10 years, so obviously I have that mindset, but just get the clients and say, hey, I want to buy a house. Then you call the lender, hey, I want to buy a house. The lender doesn't answer twice. They never organized with your lead, so you forgot that maybe you text them once or twice, but remember the statistic's true. It takes 14 times to follow it, 14 I'm going to get it. Does it make sense? You don't have to know all this. All you have to memorize is how to have this conversation with people, and then you have a support team and a system, and you have everybody behind you. You call. He does the presentation. You call me. So we will help you figure out what's best for these clients. Does that make sense? Are you guys, anybody doing this? This will add transactions to your quarter 3. It's showtime right now. What I urge everybody to do is I want you to I suck at drawing, so. Okay, so we're gonna do the calendars. So I want you to see, I wanna see that every Saturday and Sunday you already blocked it. Got it? You have no business taking time off if you have no escrows and the money's literally down in the bank. Then you're gonna block out your mom's birthday.
your friend's graduation, whatever else you have to do, your doctor appointments. Right? What's the first thing that should be on your calendar? God, then your family, then your business. For me, I will not do an appointment on Sundays in the morning. That's my personal church time. Then I do my Wednesday nights, right? Whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you, but block it from your calendar, but put it in your schedule. Does that make sense? Because what will happen is a weekend will come, you're like, well, I don't have appointments, and I set up for an open house, and then you let that time go by. Quarter 3 is going to be very crucial. 60% of deals are coming quarter 3. That's just facts. If you follow what's really happening with the market, as brokerage owners, we know, because I know that the toughest months are going to be October through February for us to survive in the industry. They're the toughest months coming. And those of you that need your paycheck, like it's coming. So I ask you to right now when the market's still very good and moving, get out there and work. This is when the deals are going to happen. Put them on your calendar, talk to your family, have your work-life balance, block out your date nights, block out your time with your family. Okay. Whatever you have to do, put it in here, but make sure you put work in the calendar too. Does this help you guys get a visual? Put in your calendar. My calendar is all blocked out. Download the app so you guys can do your estimated HUDs, your net sheets, tell your buyer what the payment. If you have good credit, as the rate says, it'll tell you what the payment. All you have to do is call people and say, are you open to having this conversation right now? List are your options. And then, then you're talking to them and asking them, you're paying $3,000, but what else are you paying? What else are you not accomplishing? Because equity is fluid. It's not really there. Homes could go up, homes could go down. Homes could go up, homes go down. Yes? So they can leverage and position themselves to a better house. One that meets their needs. Because things change in people's lives. They have babies, they get married, they get divorced, people die. Like people have to sell. So just so you know, as an industry, we're going from 5.5 million homes sell on average a year in the nation. We're going to 3.5 million this year. It's happening. That's why we have less inventory. So 3.5. Got it? Any questions so far? I want to hear from all of you. No? No questions? You guys know how to present this to me? So I can call you guys up? Those of you that haven't sold a house, just remember this. If someone asks you a question and you're like, well, I don't know, right? Just understand that you don't have to know the answer. You don't know. All you have to know is that you're fair enough and you'll go find the answer. Just tell me, you know what? I have an amazing mentor, let me call you right back. Okay? I'll call you right back. I don't care what you have to say. Okay? And then you get the answer. Got it? So I want to really encourage you to learn how to be a consultant. Assumable loan, what does that mean? Certain loans are assumable, and that's another strategy. What means is that if the loan is assumable, for example, my bank, I asked if my loan was assumable. Mine is assumable to a close-knit relative, so that there's a rule, but they have to be like a close relative. Okay. And what that means is that, like right now, if like I have a client right now, she actually called for us to manage her home because it doesn't have a lot of equity. It's a brand new build in Winchester. So I made her an offer to take it over because she's and it's worth like $540. But it's brand new build. So if I rent it, she's upside down because her payment is $3,000 and the rents are $3,000. So she'll be negative like the $150 we charge for property management. She doesn't want to do that. So I'm like, okay, her loan is assumable. So what that means is that I could just her rate is 2.75. So I'm like, okay, I could apply and take over your mortgage, right? And so the way it works is this. Since she owes $514, whoever calls the bank, and it's the same application process as when you buy a home.
The seller calls the mortgage, they get a package in the mail, they apply for the loan, just the same as if they were buying a house. Then what happens is that they get to inherit the 2.5 rate, the 514 balance, and if they already paid it out 3 years and they don't have 27 years left, then they take over the exact same loan. So that's a solution for her because she'll save all the closing costs and fees, right? So now she could get, instead of walking away with she would have to write a check to get out of this house. Instead of having to write a check to get out of the house because of the fees, now she could walk away with $26,000. $36,000. I go, hey, I'll write you a check for $36,000 and then you take over your mortgage. That's how you do it. Is she happy? Yeah. And am I happy?
Yeah.
So this is a good option. So when you're looking at the MLS, look for assumable loans because some of your clients have the money. They have the $200,000, $100,000 down. So, but agents don't know what assumable means. There's a search engine on the MLS that says assumable. Go look at those. When you take a listing, do a thorough job as a listing agent and do your research and find out if your loan is assumable. And market it that way too, and add it there so that you never know. You can sell the home and get your client more money. Because I'm gonna be like me. I'll be like, no, give me $550. No, you have it. Give me $10,000 more than it's worth right now. I'll do it because guess what? In 20 years, who's gonna regret this decision? Not me. See my point? Why? Because right now this is gold right here. There's opportunities out there for you to build your wealth and buy investment homes so you can create passive income. And what's the point? Like some people say, well, Sophia, who cares about making all this money? I don't want to care about making money. Well, guess what? I learned from Diana Kapowska. She said the reason you care about making money is because you cannot help people from a state of poor. That's why. You cannot give back, contribute, support foundations, organizations you care about, and people if you do not have money to help. Is that true? Mm-hmm. The healthcare is better when you have money. I want you to know that. The options are better. You could help more people. I personally have written a check to pay for someone's brain, a 5-year-old little girl's brain surgery before. It was $5,000. I've done that, right? Like you can make a difference to do that in someone's life. I know for a fact because I've done it, and you can too. You're gonna watch someone die that you don't have $5,000. I want to teach you guys something. Did you know that right now that 90% of people cannot write you a check for $600? Seniors. 90% of seniors do not have $600 to their name. Why? Because they were at your age, they were not thinking about being old.
Yeah, man.
You did?
Social Security, they just living on a fixed income, so they need to care and everything goes up, but this is.
Yeah, because of the inflation, you guys. I told you guys, my fruta man, I pulled up, always $5. He's off. $10. I'm off. What about $10? Because everything went up.
For a cup of fruit?
Hmm?
For a cup of fruit?
No, it's the fruta man on the corner. You know the fruta man.
I was like,
No,
you need a new fruta man.
No, the fruta man puts the chile and all that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big one, but the point is, it's $10. That's how much it costs a carton too.
There's all that.
But I'm too lazy to buy fruit and cut it, so I'll pay hey, so I'll give them the $10, right? But the point is that I want you to. I wanted to do this class because I tell them you could get your offers accepted if you have different conversations with people. When you're at open houses, when you're in front of clients, you say, listen down. I want to have a real estate consultation with you. It's not about selling your home. It's not about you. I want to have a conversation of what your life would look like if you actually invested. Because what I really want, I want to find people that want to rent their house to purchase. I really want to find those people, or the people that want to cash or refinance to purchase and still keep their house. You want to teach people how to build wealth and how to keep their assets and have passive income in the future. Does that make sense? Think about it. If you're 40 years old and if you would have bought one house a year since you were 30, how would your life look like today? If by 40 you already had 10 rentals. Your life would be very different right now. It would give you more options to fight for, like I intend to do missionary work. Like I cannot wait till, I'm 3 years away from my goal. My 15-year goal, I'm 12 years in. Right? But like I intend to be gone 3 months a year and do other things. Whatever that looks like to you, there's no judgment here. But you cannot help people from a state of poor, remember that.
because you can't even help yourself. 90% of our seniors do not have $600 to their name. It is very sad, because now the cost of food went up too, and gas. Got it? So that's a conversation I want to have with you guys today. Assumable loans, the presentation, treat yourself like a consultation. Do not send your things to the lender. What I recommend is that when a client wants to buy a home, don't say, here, call my lender, here, call the guy. Stop doing that. Stop. You say, awesome, here's a list of the items I need you to send me. They don't know. Get them. Here's your taxes, here's your pay stubs. Get their financials from them. Pick them up. And then you get the package, and then now you know, are they serious to buy?
Yes.
Who followed up on your lead more than anyone? You think a lender's gonna follow up 20 times like you? Get them in, build a relationship with them, have a consultation with them, and now you send them to a lender. And now lenders treat you very different when you have the whole package together. Your loan will be treated very different when it's complete. Understand? So I want you to promise yourself when you get a client, you say, let's sit down, give me your financials. I want 2 years of pay stubs too. And you know what? Some banks do it 1 year. I still get 2 just in case. Just ask for everything. If you do this in the next 90 days, I promise you that you will sell homes. Talk to people, have conversations. Do you want to sell more homes? Talk to more people. One of the things I had a conversation with somebody recently, and when I'm coaching the newer agents, this is what they say. I'm like, how are you doing? They always tell me, I'm doing great. I have 3 or 4 buyers I'm talking to. I'm like, great. My list of hot buyers has 350 people on it. Because you cannot put your eggs in hope that these 3 or 4 people are going to buy. They sound motivated, but they're not, because anything can happen. Right? So you need to have at least, my opinion is 20 people that want to buy to sell one house. It's 20 to 1 ratio, in my opinion. If you have 3, it's 0. Because then they're going to say, we're going to wait, the rates are too high, we change our mind, blah, blah, and then if you were just banking on those leads, then you're done. Does that make sense? So the goal is to talk to people and learn command, you guys. You're really missing out with command. We went to a top agent mastermind the other day, and the people on the stage all use command. Right? There's an agent, she's a solo agent. She came to Century 21, her name is Brenda Gerasi. She takes home $1 million a year. She doesn't even have an assistant. She does it by herself. And she's like, 17 of her deals came from command. Because command has you push a button, it does Facebook ads for you, so you can get leads from your listings and buyers. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but if you're in this office, you have the right to ask anyone if you could advertise their listing as your listing. You can put ads on it, you can market it, you can go do it like if it was yours on your social media, with your friends, with your family. You can send a text message. And the other day, I was talking to one of our agents here, and I told her, I said, guess what? I'm really frustrated because our agents are not using the East West Bank program because you guys all need to have a niche. I said they're not using it. They're not telling people, hey, the rates are 7.25. We have a 5.7 program. And you know what she said? Quote unquote, they're stupid. You know why? Because she's like, I was like, really? Yeah, because like you have something that nobody has. And at least guess what? Most people may not even go through them. Right? But at least that gives you an excuse to call them and start a conversation about real estate. Those of you that are embarrassed to call people, now you can call them. And now you can talk to them. And you can tell them and say, hey, I have something that nobody has. The rate's very low. It's only 3% down. So what happens if you send that text message to your entire database? Did you guys know that there's a feature on command where you can push a button and it imports all your contacts from your cell phone to your command? What would happen if you called everybody you know? Those of you that haven't sold a home is because you haven't wanted to. What do you feel when I say that? Is that true? Is that true? Because if you wanted to, could you have sold the house already? The truth. So what's holding you back? Is it fear? It's fear of not knowing what to say. So I want you to just, that's the lies of the enemy. Okay? You have to have faith that you're in the right career that God chose for you. And you have a lot of love and support around you. Anybody will help you. We will get on the phone with you. Will help you. Those are lies of the enemy that is making you doubt yourself. You understand that? You're afraid of what? Of failing? Yeah? But when you're afraid of failing, you fail by default. You don't do nothing. Then you fail. Then remember all the work you did to get your license? Remember all those tests, all those quizzes, all the excitement, your little business card picture, and telling all your friends. Remember that? And then you're not doing nothing with it now. Got it? Okay. I want to know if you guys have any questions because I really expect you guys to learn how to have this conversation. Does anybody want to role play this with me? Who's gonna, I want somebody to be the agent that's gonna come and learn this. Alright. You're gonna be my agent, I'm gonna be your buyer, okay? Or your seller. Thank you. Come up here. Because I wanna make sure that we leave with like this skill set. So if remember, we're gonna talk about when you with them, you're not just talking about increasing the rate, you say, hey, we're changing your whole life, your whole dynamic, we're gonna consolidate debt. So you're not gonna leave them. No, I'll leave the basics.
You should have it memorized already.
Hello, you know my expectation. Yeah. No, I'll leave this, the basic stuff, and this here. This is cool. Okay? You just have to come back, just that, right? Yeah. Alright, so you're going to be my seller. Thank you for signing up. And then, so I'll be your client and you'll be my agent. You're the agent, okay? So you knock on the door and answer. Hi!
Hi, I'm LaShonda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, LaShonda. Thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Come on in.
Sophia, right?
Yes, it is. Come on. Good to see
So
you.
glad to meet you.
You're
How are
safe.
you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. So you're thinking of selling your home?
Yes, I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I think I'm a little afraid of like how the market is. I don't know if it's the right time or what's gonna happen with the rates, the employment, inflation. I just don't know.
Okay.
But I would consider it if I prefer it.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're just going to talk about, we're going to consult about some things that are possibilities for you.
Okay.
Maybe you don't even sell your home. Maybe once we, have our conversation, you'll decide it's not for me. So we're going to talk about a few things. Maybe we'll talk about maybe renting your home out, doing nothing, possibly cashing out of your home and taking those proceeds and purchasing something else. So again, renting it out, and keeping this one. And then we'll talk about refinancing to cover all your debt, maybe just, and then we'll talk about selling, what that will look like, the different scenarios to say what that would look like for you.
Awesome.
How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Good. So let's just talk about what's your reasoning for wanting to sell?
I'm thinking that I want to move closer to work. I want to have a home that's a little more spacious so I can entertain my family more and have more family time. Like I think that my home is too small to entertain, so I tend not to invite people over.
So you're thinking of going a bigger home?
Maybe a little bigger and maybe a better area where I feel safe for walking. I like to walk really early in the morning and maybe where I feel safe.
Okay, better area too.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about what you look like financially right now. So how much do you owe on home?
I owe $300.
Okay. And so before I came here, I checked it out. Your home is sitting at about $560.
Yes.
So you have a nice equity egg, you should say, that you could draw from if you were thinking, maybe I keep this house and take the equity to purchase something bigger and better, right? We could do that. What else financially do you have going on?
I have a card payment that's $750, and then I have 4 or 5 credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. My credit's pretty good.
Credit's pretty good. What are your credit cards at like?
I probably owe 40 altogether,
Mm-hmm.
but not a lot.
Okay. What's your interest rate on the home right now?
My rate, I think I have a 3%.
3%. And so is that one of the things that you're concerned with? Is that moving into another mortgage, you might be looking at a 7?
Yeah, I was watching the news and the rates were at almost 7 or 8%, and that would double my mortgage, and how could I afford that?
Right. So right now your payment is what?
My payment is almost $3,000 with HOA and with my HOA.
Yeah. And so if you went into something and the interest rate was higher, you're thinking, how can I afford that?
Yeah, because it'd be another $1,000. I went on the calculator on Zillow and instead of my payment would go for $1,500 house, so I'm it's a $600 bigger bill, and I'm already in debt. so
Yeah.
I really wanna do that.
And you're already with your credit cards, your car payment, what else do you have? Do you have any other
I have
monthly
a
payment?
student loan, but that's only $200 a month, but I owe like, I think 12,000 on that,
What if you roll all of that into your next purchase? Paid off all that debt, and then your payment would be sitting somewhere maybe $4,000 or $5,000, would that be comfortable? Because you're eliminating the other debt that you paid monthly.
Well, probably, I would love to be debt free, so I'll probably feel good just to have one bill.
Just to have to worry about the mortgage,
Yeah.
insurance or whatever. That's a possibility also, so. So let's talk about the cash out. Have you ever thought about renting your house out?
I don't know how that works, I don't know if I would rent for or whatever, like, I don't know how that would work, but I mean, I'm open to it.
Well, before I came, like I said, I did some research and your house is sitting at 560, the ability is like $300 a month. How does that sound?
Yeah, well, my payment is, around 3,000, so yeah.
Right, so you'd be clearing $300 putting in your pocket, right? That would be nice too. And then if we were to refinance your house, I'm not doing any numbers. Should I give you numbers?
Yeah, so just so you know, that she's doing amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so exactly what Lashanda's doing, but instead of her, like, she would actually be writing everything down and doing the math herself. And she's the one that's doing the math. So you're becoming a consultant and going over all these options. So to do this, you will have to invest in learning some mortgage basics and how to calculate a payment, but your app does it for you. And you could, on the MLS, you could look at rental comps before you go to the house. And you have to ask them some questions. Hey, before I come over, like, how much income did you have last year? Like, you could ask this beforehand, so you could actually bring scenarios. I actually bring scenarios with me. Like, I actually do the math and show them everything. This is how you get people to sell right now in this market, is when you paint a picture of how their life is going to look now to their life is. I learned this when I became a loan officer 22 years ago. The rates were high too back then. They were 8%, 8.5%. And I went in there and I became like the #1 loan officer. And then people asked me, like, did you do it? Because what I was doing is, I wasn't cold calling people like my friends and saying, oh, I want to go from a 4% rate to an 8%. Nobody wanted to do that. But when I called people and said, hey, want to consolidate your debt, cash out, invest in another home, hey, go on that vacation, pay your kids college, hey, get that mommy makeover, do what you got to do, right? When you were telling people that and you actually were showing them how it would change their life, I would kill it. Because I would say, okay, you want to go from $5,000 a month to $2,000 a month? They're like, hell yeah. And you'll be debt free. And you'll be in a better area. You want to do that? You know people will say yes. You know that, right? Would you say yes to that?
Yes.
I don't care how much you love your home, but if I told you, you can get another home, and now you're going to be debt free and still have $60,000 in the bank to do something else with, people would say, they'll consider moving. They really would. Or at least they'll refinance and do it anyways, right? And stay there. So when you're a consultant to people, you're not tied to any outcome. Your job is not to look at people as money or as commission checks. Your job is to look at people as human beings and you're blessed to serve. You're there to serve them and to see what their needs are. Does that make sense? You see what their needs are and it's how you can help them and serve them. And you will attract unexpected clients and blessings and people into your life that you don't even know. Because you're coming from the right space. If you're coming from I'm negative in my car payment, I better sell a house or I'm going to lose my car. Like, if you're coming from that space of lack, then you attract all you see is lack. Understand that? And you know, those of you young people in the room, and one of the things I want to say to you, your generation, is that you're very impatient with results. Sophia, I've been doing this for 6 months and a year. I've seen no result. Oh, good. It takes 5 years. Keep going. It does take time. Does that make sense? It does take time.
One thing I was told to me was, never fear the lack, always fear the abundance. Because when you have an abundance, you have to maintain and keep all of that, right? So if you fear that, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're trying to keep up that end of the spectrum. When you fear lack, it does come off very different when you're in front of people. But when you fear the abundance, it changes your lifestyle, changes your way of thinking.
Yeah, it's called commission bread. Like, you can smell it. Yeah, commission break, you're there for that paycheck, you're really not caring. The way that Shonda's personality, energy, I feel like she cares about me. See that? Like she's, I'm gonna see whatever's best for you, Sophia. That's how the energy I feel. And people will feel that from you too. If you can have this conversation, you will sell all the homes you want this quarter, or not. Because someone that's gonna sell them, which won't be you. If you think that there's no inventory, that things are not happening, log on to the MLS every day and look at the new listings. Someone is getting a listing every day. It's just not you. Get out there. Stop being off on the evenings and weekends. Like, I don't know if you know this, but when you chose real estate, you chose a job that is evenings and weekends. So those of you that don't want to work evenings and weekends, you're in the wrong industry. It's like me wanting to be a nurse and say, but I don't work nights and I don't draw blood. Okay. Hey, I don't like needles. Okay? Hey, I want to be a cop, but I don't like guns. Does that make sense? It goes with the industry you chose. You committed to evenings and weekends. And you're doing this because you wanted no limit on your salary. One of the things I learned from Aurora that I like is that I want you to put things in perspective for you. Go on LinkedIn and look for a job. And look up for jobs that pay $100,000 a year. Go do that, okay? And go see what the qualifications are. Master's degree, 20 years experience, blah, 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 blah. Go look at LinkedIn for $100,000 a year paid job. And just know that here, you can do that selling 10 houses, one a month. That gives you 3 weeks to be lazy. For real. If you're selling one home a month, you're working, you can't fool me. I tell this to my family, because I can be really blunt, I'll be blunt with you. If you're selling an average of 1 or 2 houses a month, you're really, really only working like 10 hours a week, in my opinion. You can't fool me because I do this too. You understand? And there's no judgment if that's, I love this job because there's 4 kinds of agents. Yeah, but thank you. Thank you. Lashonda, give her a round of applause. So remember, we have 4 kinds of agents in every brokerage. We have no-time agent. We have part-time agent, hobby agent, and then full-time agent. No-time agent is somebody that got their real estate license and became a referral-only agent. That means that you send a form to the Board of Realtors saying that you're not going to operate and sell homes. However, you legally can get a referral commission. If you find a buyer or seller, you can send it to another agent and get paid 25% for just sending them over. You go get a job and live your life. And keep your license active every 4 years and pay $25 a year with us just to keep your license. You don't pay a monthly fee of $60. You're just a referral agent and you send us all your referrals. We have like 70 of them in this office. And I'm calling them asking them for leads to feed the PC coaching program. Okay? There's a lot of referral agents. They have their license on and they have other jobs, other careers, no judgment. Good for them. I tell my top referring clients, I told them to go get their license because I'm like, dude, instead of me giving you a $100 gift card for lunch, go get your license and get 25% because you send me 3 deals a year. That's a lot of money. Right? I have a free real estate school. Then we have part-time agents, or what I call dual career. These are people that have a full-time 9 to 5 and sell real estate on the evenings and weekends. They're dual career. They have 2 careers. Dual career. Okay? Then we have the hobby agents. These are people that have somebody else supporting them financially so they don't have to work. That means that their spouse is paying all the bills, they got their license, and they're like, they tell me that they're full-time, and I'm like, no, you're not considered full-time unless you're putting 40 plus hours a week into this. Because you do not have a job, does not mean that you're a full-time agent if you're not working. Is that too much to ask? If you do not work, you cannot call yourself full-time? No judgment. This is a great, I love this. Yesterday I met one of our agents here. Her name is Delia. She's an amazing agent. She has sold 4 homes in 2 years. She sells 2 homes a year. So she adds an extra 20 grand to her family a year. And she's pregnant with her 5th child and she's 32 years old. Her husband makes great money. She homeschools her kids. goes walks, she's raising babies and puppies and cooking homemade meals and loving on her family. Is there judgment there?
No.
We love her. I'm happy that she's doing that because she's closing an escrow right now. She has another one. And we're like, dude, she's so happy that she has this extra income. She's going to take her kids to Disney World and she has plans with her money. That's a hobby agent. That's someone that does it. If a deal comes to them, they do it. If someone tells them, they do it, but they're not out there actively looking for business. Although she told me that she wants to sell one a month and she asked me to coach her. I was like, okay, let's get to work though. How are you going to do it? She said this, Sophia, when you want to do something, you find a time. If not, you find an excuse. I want to sell one a month. Then we have the full-time career agents, right? I told Bailey, I want a roster of this office. I want to know where everybody is. I want 4 lists. I want to know where my people are. Because I want to know who my full-time agents are, because they're who I want to talk to. They're the ones that are doing this at a full-time level. The dual career, I want to have evening and Saturday trainings for them so they can still have a career and succeed. My referral agents, I want to call them and tell them, hey, call your database, learn command, so it automatically emails and texts your friends and family so you get the referrals, and when they buy and sell, you get 25%, and then our business grows. And the hobby agent, I want to do some fun stuff with them. I want to teach them how to have mom groups and stuff, because my friend Lauren in Upland, she has a Mama Tribe group, Facebook group. She has 3,000 moms in there, and she sells about 8 to 10 homes a year from that group. So I want to teach her, I want to pour into her in this group in a different way. Does that make sense? So that's why, so I don't know where you're at here, but make no mistake, if you're not putting 40 plus hours of real hard work a week, you're not a full-time agent. And so you're not going to get full-time results. So give yourself grace and love and understand, if you're putting in 5 hours a week, then you're going to get 5 hour a week results. Remember the quote that says, you're never going to make $1 million with a minimum wage work ethic. You understand that? You want to roll into the office around 9 and 10, you want to leave at 2, you want to go to a long lunch, and guess what? It's cool. You're right here. Right? Maybe I'll separate the part-time agent with a dual career, but the dual career are people that are actually grinding and a job and then still do real estate here and there. Where are you here? How can we support you? I'm committed to talking to everybody once a quarter, like twice a quarter, and then Jay's calling the rosters, so you guys will get a call from me, and I want to know, like, what's your goal? Like, how can we support you? Where are you right here? Where are you? Because why are you going to go work for someone else? You're going to go work for someone else 9 to 5 for about $40,000 to $60,000 a year. Or you could chill 3 weeks a month, work 1 week a month, and earn over $100,000 for sure. But for yourself. Because you're afraid of what? We'll teach you. You have to get that first deal to learn the business. I'm sorry. Until you do one, you're not going to learn the business. You guys agree with this? Yeah? Yeah, right? There's different types of agents, and everybody has different needs, and there's no judgment. The no-time agents that are, like, they just want to be referral, good for them, no problem. Hard dual career, good. You have a job, and you're still trying to get a side hustle, good for you. Hey, if you're raising babies and making money for your family to take them on vacations and invest, good for you. If you're full-time, does that make sense? Like, that's why not everything fits to everybody. But I'm telling you, if you do full-time activities, you'll get full-time results. If you do, some people, this is the problem we have. When in a broke time, and they're like, where's my paycheck, Sophia? Doesn't work that way. Does it make sense? All right, did you guys learn something today? What did you learn that you're going to implement? Share with me. What are you going to learn that you're going to implement?
That presentation.
Be a consultant.
The finding out like what their monthly expenses are and how you can eliminate those monthly expenses. So the difference between their current interest rate and the new one is not that big of a deal.
They don't care. Because if you're selling rates, people are going to wait. You're going to have 20 pre-approvals, no one's going to want to move.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Does that make sense? You have buyers on the fence. I promise you, if you guys learn how to have be consulted and care about people and not look at them as money, look at them as from a place of service, of serving them, you're going to sell all the homes you want this quarter till September. Make your money. Make your money now, because when the business historically will get low. I told you, industry-wide, we're going from 5.6 to 6 million homes a year that sell year after year. We're going to 3.5 million this year. It's already true the first half of the year. In the whole USA, that's how many homes sold, is 1.6 million homes. That's bad. Does that make sense? Not bad. That's where the market is. So we're experiencing so many less inventory, which means people are jumping out of the business. Which group do you think is jumping out first? Which one stayed back and fight? Yeah, but what happens if a full-time agent, if someone's really working 40 hours a week, do you believe that they will never sell a house?
No.
We have a program called Bold, and it makes you call 20 people a day, talk to 20 people a day about real estate for 7 weeks, right? So when people take Bold and sell no houses, did they really call 20 people a day? Would you believe that? See my point? So I want you to know that my quote is this is a Sophia quote. If you pretend to work, you're gonna cash pretend paychecks. It's harsh, but it's my quote. I like it because it gets my point across. So I don't want to discourage you, I want to encourage you to know that learn this consulting conversation, come from a place of love and service, and just teach people how to overall improve their life, okay? Thank you, Britt. All right, anybody, what else did you learn? Did you learn anything from me, Britt, today?
I always learn something from you, but
Or remind you of something? Sometimes you just have to remind yourself.
I think for me, like, I think this is my 5th year in the business, and I can tell you guys, I came from a top brokerage already, and my broker did not teach me this. My old broker did not teach me this. So I just learned that this year is how to be a consultant. That's already like somebody who I am already, but going in with a plan and going in with just the knowledge of there are so many different options. And when you are a new agent, you don't have to have all the answers. That's like the biggest mistake as new agents. You guys think you have to know everything. And it's so true. When you just go in with options, you already set yourself apart because there's no agent out there that's really sitting down and having these conversations. So it's just always a great reminder of like having options, knowing your options, and knowing that you're just there to be a consultant. Like you're there, you'll get the business, you don't get the business, it doesn't matter. But you're setting yourself apart by knowing these things. And I think that is always just a great reminder. And thank you, Sophia, for just being a fearless leader. Thank you for taking the time to even want to grow your real estate agents and teaching them things that you could easily keep to yourself. And you can get all the business you want, but you don't. You have a heart of gold. And you're, for the new agents sitting here, like you guys really have no idea who's helping you, and the things that you're learning is really going to set you apart. So thank you for your heart. Thank you for the time that you put into every single person, even your seasoned agents that, you know, sometimes we feel like we know it all or we don't. You know, like for me too, you know, I'm stubborn. But like you always just help me see different things. So I'm just super thankful for you. And yeah, you guys are in the best hands that you can possibly be in. Like,
thank you. That's great. She's also making me a grandma too. So
I also need to feed my baby because
everybody's making.
Bye, Grandma.
I love you. Come on. Yeah.
2 more months.
2 more months. Can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I want you to be very clear what you said. No other place teach you this. I promise you. Because this is just me I didn't learn this on YouTube. I made this up myself because I was a lender for 10 years. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's how I made this up. And then I just get any listing I want. So I'm like, dude, I didn't teach my agents how to do this. Right? Sometimes you don't realize what you do. So is this, Jacqueline, is helping you? Do you do this?
Yes, super helpful.
It's helpful. Anybody? Yeah.
I did go on my first listing appointment.
Yes.
And I did, this to my extent. But it did work. I mean, I didn't get the listing. The clients were like, they were dead set on someone with more experience, period. They didn't care that I told them that I have all of this team behind me, blah, blah, blah. But they said because I offered them so much advice, as a consultant, I told them that maybe they should just rent, that they have another property that I'd be more suited for. So they're gonna consider me to list their other property.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It does work.
Yeah.
Very good, you guys. Anybody else? Manny, Iris, anything? Did you gonna master it, Iris?
The summable loans, I already do that, the thing that you do
Yeah.
with that, but I just don't do the summable loans. I didn't.
Very good. So this, when you do this, I want you to also know that for this, you're gonna have to do your homework. Don't just show up and say you rent it. You say you rent it and this is how much. This is how much you need to buy for, like this is how much money we need to get out of this. So you have to sit down and go deeper with this, you know? And really learn this. So if you want to practice on this, let me tell you guys what you need to be doing. All of you that are in here that have not, this is my vision, that have not sold a house, you have no business being in your house trying to figure this out on your own. Show up here, and I would say, every Friday before Gabe's class, I would meet with my team and be like, okay, every week can I role play and practice this on you? And I would have you guys just practice these presentations on each other. You can't just sit in the class and listen and not practice it. Because it won't work. Got it? Get here early on Fridays and do this. And you will sell homes, I promise you. But practice it on someone else. Get an address and here, do it. Gabe, I don't know if Gabe shared the story, but Gabe was here for 6 months and had not sold one house. He was in every class. And one day he's walking by and I'm like, come in here, Gabe. He's like, go ahead. I go, so when are you going to sell a house? You know? And he's like, well, I am. And I was like, no. The reason you're not selling a house is because you're not confident with your presentations. And until you master your presentation, you're not going to go take listings because you're not confident. So I said, on Wednesday, here's my address. You're going to present my house, sell my house to me. I'm going to be your client. That's the best thing I ever did. It forced him. I did it to Hector too. Hector's like, Sophia, I'm going to become a listing agent. I go, awesome, you're going to teach a listing class next week. It forced him to get his scripts ready. It forced him to get his package ready. Understand that that's what you need to do. Stop sitting in the class and take action. Go back and implement some of this. Go practice this. Take a picture of this on your phone and go learn how to do this and say it to people. Don't just sit in the class and hope that you're going to remember this. Practice it. If not, it won't work. If not, you're going to be, as an industry, we're going to go from 1.9 million realtors to 800,000 realtors. So how many are going to, 1.1 are leaving the business? Are you going to be in this group or that group? It's up to you. Because as a brokerage, I can't. I wish I could save all of you. But I cannot do it. Just how you guys cannot do my leg lifts and my crunches for me, I can't go do this for you. Got it? You guys can go run 5 miles for me, right? So I want to, okay, what did you learn from the class?
Not to be on something. Like, for me, because I have a friend from San Diego, she told me that she wanted to get a mortgage. And I was always getting this answer that we have to get it first with a lender. Now I see the other picture that we have to be consulting.
Yeah, get the information, ask all the questions, and then you give it to the lender.
Mm-hmm.
Don't connect them. Because then what if she doesn't get a hold of them?
And do a buyer's consult.
Yeah, that's a different class. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Adam?
Just the framing of all that. You kind of put it more in a specific order. Like when I would talk to people, I would kind of touch it, but not go into so much detail. But I like the way you said to create and bring scenarios for each one of those topics.
Yes.
With your presentation.
You will kill it. Because remember, those of you that are the overthinkers in the room. Okay? The analytical people. Your overthinking is making you broke. Got it? Because you're like, I don't know yet. I'm perfect. It's not perfect. I don't know. You know what? The people that teach are going to sell more houses because they're out there making it happen. Does that make sense? I'm more of a build a parachute off the plane kind of person. Like want to have 10 parachutes and analyze it and think about it. Like that's not me. So your personality is that's okay. But just don't overthink it. Just go talk to more people. And if you don't, the more people you talk to, the better you'll get. Stop waiting for, what are you waiting for? Let me tell you, last thing I want to share is this. In 2020, people were not selling their house. Then when the last half of the year, we had the best year real estate.
Then in 2021, the rates were 2%. And people were like, we're waiting for homes to come down. Rates to come down. People were thinking about it. I want to share very important. I'm adding number 6 on here that I just added. So whoever left early missed out on this part. Go over the payment. I just made up. So they are for the new buyer for their home. Just say, I just want to let you know this, okay? This is a new thing I added. I say, I want to make you something. How come you haven't sold my house? If I say, let's sell your house, ain't gonna be that easy. Because you know what? Your house is $700,000. Assume the maximum loan limit in this county is $654, right? Or whatever county, right? So let's just say they buy it with 3.25% down and 0.7 MIP mortgage, taxes are 0.9%, homeowner 5%, right? So on your calculator from lawyers, calculate this payment for me. What's the payment for somebody? So these are people that owe $300 and pay $2,600. Okay, they pay $2,600 and we're gonna go sell their house, right? So what's the payment for someone like this? Do you guys know? Oh, the rate right now is 7.25. All right, somebody pull out your calculator for lawyers and tell me what the payment is. If you don't have the app downloaded right now, you can't live without it. One right now. Lawyers 1. What's the payment? This is sales price, FHA 3.25% down, mortgage. If you put FHA on the app, it automatically calculates the mortgage insurance for you. Automatically. Taxes are 1.9, it automatically does the insurance for you if you have the app. And then just plug in the rate 7.25. What's the payment? You don't know how to calculate a payment? You can't go to a mortgage basics and I walk out at least, I'll fail if you guys at least don't know how to calculate a payment.
57.
Huh?
Yeah, 57.
57?
57.39.
57.39. So I'm gonna tell the seller, look, when I saw your home, did you know that someone's living in this home that you were complaining about 26? They're gonna pay 57 to get here. So don't be telling me to like that's what someone's gonna pay to live in your same house. Go over that with them. Bring them to reality. Tell them that. Payment of buying their house. Is it a good reminder, Aurora?
I focus on only the payment. I don't focus on anything else for buyers or sellers.
Just the rate. Here's the payment.
Can you afford it? Yes or no? And that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
If you can afford it and you choose not to do it, then there's something else going on, you know.
Very, very, very similar to what I do with a brokerage. How much is your split? How much is my split? I was like, don't worry about your split. If you do what I tell you, you're gonna make $500,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Just do what we're telling you, and you'll make all the money you want. Got it? I want to hear from Marco and Arlen back there. You guys learn something today?
Yes.
What did you learn?
Just the way to present the whole listing presentation. I'm not going to it right away. Just let's so break it down and give them options and let them think about it. It's too late.
Just be of service. That's something that I've been applying this whole entire year. How it is that you can help the client, and on top of that, just having the tools available like Lawyers Title 1. It's there. Just use it to its potential.
And then this right here, this conversation right here.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? Victor? Got it? Got it. How many more homes can you start doing this? Think of the people that did not hire you because you didn't have this. You went in there and just talked about number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I go after you and talk about 6 options. Who are they going to hire? Think about that. Got it, guys? You guys all wrote these notes down? You didn't master it? You just say, oh, give me your tax returns, give me your pay stub. That way you know they're serious.
You guys did a buyer's presentation.
Yeah, I even before I get a buyer consultation, I make them give me the financials because then I'm not going to waste my time. Because if they pull out tax returns, then they're really gonna bite.
I honestly, I meet with everyone and anyone because the reason that we're busy now is because all those people
Relationships.
that got ignored when they couldn't afford it when the rates went up last time, they were like, yeah, as soon as the rates went up, my agents dropped me, and you didn't. And like, that's honestly why we've been blessed this year, because we just continue to
be a
find a
service.
solution. And a lot of people think like, oh, well, she's in with East West Bank. Yeah, we work well with them. However, like, we had 8 escrows with them, and only 2 of them are going through them, the rest are going somewhere else. But East West is what got them. So
it's a hook that got
it's
them
just a
started.
hook that I use, and then I eventually find that something different or better or faster or whatever the case is. So I really, like, I work with them all the time, but I don't always close with them because I find something else.
And that's how I build my business, to be honest with you guys. That's what I did too. Like, I would, if people said, I just had a bankruptcy yesterday, can I buy a house? Most, no, you can't. I would say, let's meet.
Yeah.
And then when I sat one time with somebody and he gave me my Orange County listing, which my sellers were returned from Disney after being there 30 years. He gave me his grandma's house and his aunt's house to sell. Like, because you just be of service and meet with people, because you have nothing better to do. You have no escrows, you don't have a job. And you have all the time in the world. You have nothing else to do, you guys. Get in front of people. I always say, what do people do that doesn't work? I don't understand. What do you guys do? You know what I mean? Because you're not working. If you have no escrows, you're not working. There's no way you're working. Right? You're pretending to work and you're not working. So I don't know what you guys do, because I don't know that life yet. But I'll get there in 3 years. But you don't want to be not working broke. You want to be not working passive income. See what I'm saying? It's a different, like Hector said, that the first kit's a little different when you got money in the bank. You know what I mean? Like you said, yeah,
In addition to what Roland just said, you also use that to negotiate. Like, I have a client that I put in escrow on a new bill, and I showed them the pre-qual with East West Bank, right? 5.7, blah, 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 right? No MI was the kicker. So what they did is they bought the rate even more down for my client to 5.5, which dropped the payment about $100 and something, and the MI was $100 and something. So they're like, we're not gonna take away the MI, but we're gonna give you even a lower rate to offset that MI payment. And it's done, so my client, go for it, dude. We'll refinance again, and now you're gonna drop the MI, so they're gonna have even an additional discount.
Yep.
It was a no-brainer. So you can use it to your
I did this, me and my client, my new build, I had a fight with East West and they gave him the solar for free, $10,000 solar.
Yeah.
I have 6 in escrow with East West. I'm sorry, and with new construction that started with East West, and now they're just going to construction. It's just a
It's an
conversation.
excuse, it's called a MOFR, it's an excuse to call people. It's an excuse to call people.
Yeah.
By the way, East West is coming on July 21st. And if you want them to see your file, have it labeled and tagged and organized with little tabs, and they will get you approved right away.
You guys have to turn it into me. You go in a queue.
Yeah.
In order, you can start giving it to me today. That's it. Super simple.
You don't have to wait till the
When's
21st.
Please staple it too.
We're teaching a class on it too.
Oh yeah, me and Laura are teaching a class.
Oh yeah, when is it? Next week?
Yeah, come to that class. When is it being in
I don't know.
Next Thursday.
Next
Oh,
Thursday.
yeah.
Come back next Thursday and we'll teach you more. Please come back next Thursday. Come back next Thursday. What day? Next Thursday.
Also, if I could just throw in, because it happened like right now, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to use East West because they don't accept our offers. I literally, I called an agent and I told them like, hey, my buyers really like your house, but I'd like to be upfront and transparent. I have a special loan program. I need a 60-day escrow. But if you want to feel warm and fuzzy about it, we'll do 45 and I'll pay a per diem, or my buyer will pay a per diem of $50 to the 60 days. And they're like, submit it, we'll open escrow tomorrow. Like, as long as you are extremely clear on that, and I tell them, I will not close in 45 days. We will close in 60. Like, just understand that. And throughout the transaction, like, I know appraisal gets ordered on day 10. Loan approval comes on day 30. The CD goes out, then there's a few days. Like, I know the whole timeline to it now. Mm-hmm. So I'm consistently talking to the agent, and I have not had an agent be upset, like, the whole time. So, like, if you guys are not using it because it's annoying and blah, 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 like, it's annoying, but I'll do it for 10 grand. You know what I mean? So, like, this last time, what we did is we sent out a text message to 300 people of our database, just telling them about it, and we have 12 new pre-approvals that from last time they were here. Like, if I close half of those, I'll be happy. You know, so like, just do it. Don't be scared. But come to the class. I'm gonna tell you guys all the secrets that I have. They're not secrets, but I'll tell you. Yeah, it's really good, and it's just a way to have a conversation. So something you should definitely have in your pocket for sure. 100%.
While we're doing shoutouts, we're having a barbecue tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Potluck, bring a
all
side.
the stuff for the sides.
Yes.
We're providing the burgers, the hot dogs, and the music, and you guys just gotta bring some sides and a potluck. We have a potato salad competition with cash.
If you make the best potato salad, let's see it. Okay, bring it. Please come back tomorrow,
Please
guys,
come
and
have
come
fun,
hang out with
get
us. Come
games.
learn from top producers, build relationships. Okay. Thank you guys for
Barbecue,
coming.
come through.
Thank you guys for coming.
Bring